because we know he can do everything. How about the Vanderbilt head football coach, Clark Lea, joining us now here live on 3HL after practice. Hey, Coach, how's it going?
I'm doing so well. How are you guys doing?
We
Doing
are
great.
doing great. It's hard to believe that that the first game is right around the corner. Where do you feel like your team is right now as you look forward to the season opener?
A lot of progress through fall camp. We're starting class tomorrow, which is signs of the season being upon us. But we still have basically a week and a half of prep left, and so we're going to use every day this week to keep kind of drilling down on the fundamentals, keep kind of building the vision for the program, and then tighten our focus to East Tennessee State next week. So really pleased with the progress. Still a lot of work left to do, and then just like with any season, we'll get going against East Tennessee, and then continue to grow and improve, over the course of the next 4 months.
I know you mentioned class starting, and that's obviously always a big conversation when you look at an academic institution like Vanderbilt. I know in the past, a lot of times practices were held in the morning so that the student athletes could focus on class and all of that. How have you been able to navigate with classes starting next week, the workload and all of that? Obviously, from where you came from, you're very familiar with an academic workload on these student athletes. But what's been the biggest challenge for you in navigating scheduling and all of that with your team?
Well, Dawn, it was important to us that we keep in mind both obviously the academic side of the student athlete experience here, being critically important, but also these guys come here to play at a high level, to compete and to win. And so the morning schedule is awesome. Like, we'll still use that in the spring and winter, because I think it's a great way just to honestly to create toughness and buy-in and accountability within the program. It also gives you access to afternoon class blocks, which can, when alternating schedules, you can have access to classes that you might not in the fall. But we will be practicing in the afternoons this fall. It's important to me that we kind of use the block that we need to be training our systems, our neurological system to be firing. This is about how we build the best competitive product to get ready to play in the afternoons and evenings on Saturday. Also, I think the accumulation of rest over time will be impactful to our team. Again, certainly in the first few weeks, but definitely as we get into November and December. And so, the university was on board with that, and I appreciated the support. We shifted to the afternoon. We're gonna make it work, and it's going to be great for us. I think it's going to allow us to maintain a level of excellence, to sustain a level of output over the course of 4 months that will help us be competitive through the end of the season.
Coach Lee, man, listen, man. I know you sweating bullets, thinking you going in the boom boom room. I'm gonna let you off the hook today. I'm gonna let you relax since it's hot outside. But let me ask you this, man: who or what emerged from this camp that you can put your finger on and say, we're moving in the right way. We're moving towards what I want to get to.
No, Ron, I got to first express disappointment to not be in the boom boom room with you. I thought for sure that we were headed there today. But I don't have my coat on, so I'd have to run home to grab the coat before I. No, listen, I think, I really feel like, just to be specific, Anthony Orji had an incredible camp. I think the sustaining of output, the energy, the heartbeat. Davian Davis, another one. I mean, there's a number of guys on that defensive side stood up and really doubled down on the culture and the environment that's been built. And I was just really pleased with how we sustained on that side, energy, effort, enthusiasm. On the offensive side, we've come a long way in the last week. I think, a little slower out of the blocks, but really have shown signs of tightening up and confidence coming through at the quarterback position, confidence coming through at the receiver position, where, we're catching the ball better. We're getting open. I mean, the little things that will go a long way in us winning games. And so, as a team, I feel like, we faced a really tough camp. We went at it hard. We learned to sustain again through the middle and to every day, keep the team at the forefront of our choices.
Right.
On an individual level, I've seen guys step up. I've seen guys start to really carry the language, the vision, the mission of the program in their work every day. And it's exciting to think, again, over the course of the season, how we'll compound on that, how 1, 2 guys become 4, 6 guys become the entire team.
Right.
And it's just about us being consistent and keeping the messaging the same.
Coach, who's your starting quarterback?
Well, Don, that's a great question, but one I'm not ready to answer.
Hold on.
Listen, that's one for the Boom Boom Room.
Yeah,
That's what I was
we're
gonna say. I'm
we're
like,
about to put you in there then. If that's the question.
If that's the case.
Get them
right
paying.
here.
Get them paying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
On his way here.
Yeah.
All
We're in the
right.
Boom Boom Room.
Coach Lee, we have a guest. We have a guest in the Boom Boom Room. Now, this is brought to you by Low T Center. I have a guest questioner in the Boom Boom Room, and that is Babs. I usually leave her in behind the glass, but she can come into the Boom Boom Room and ask these questions. You are under oath. The Boom Boom Room oath, Coach Lee. You got to do your best to answer this question.
All right, Coach. Here's my just honest take on it. I worked quite a few Vanderbilt games last year. Obviously, Ken Seals was the starting quarterback, so I think it's surprising for people to hear you say that you don't have a starting or you're not ready to announce a starting quarterback yet when they saw what Ken Seals did last season. So
no,
to that you say what?
listen, I understand that. I understand that completely, and obviously we think the world of Kenny. We think he's so talented. The one thing though to point out is that we have 2 very unique skill sets in Ken and Mike, and so I think there's two sides to this as we go into game prep. One is the internal answer to that question, so that our team understands who's going to be lining up with the first team and how it's going to sound, how it's going to look. And the other is the external, where it's maintaining every ounce of competitive advantage we can to ensure that that we're forcing opponents to prepare for both guys. And I will say we've had 2 long scrimmages, which I think have allowed for a little more clarity. I think we're planning internally, sometime around the weekend, heading into our game prep, to kind of really make the determination. But unfortunately, even in the Boom Boom Room, I probably won't be announcing that publicly because, again, we want to maintain every advantage. And Ron, I know you understand that, being a former Hooper.
I do. So, but before I let you out of the Boom Boom Room, let me ask you this. I'm a guy, man, and I understand your background, understand, your upbringing. You're a guy that's easy to follow. You say a lot of the things that motivate people to walk this way, and then you also do it by your action. How do you get kids nowadays to not go to the Dukes or the Virginias or the Wake Forest or the Stanford and come to a Vanderbilt, knowing the responsibility they have as a student? How do you change that mindset and that outlook of a guy that you're recruiting to come here?
Well, we start with a product that we believe in. I mean, and again, the one fortunate thing I have, or the one advantage in this, is that I'm a product of Vanderbilt. So, it's a very easy sell. It's a very natural sell for me because it's opened doors in my life that I would not be in the situation I am without my education here, my experience here. So we believe in the product. So now it's about how we paint the vision for what we're going to build here. And I think once people recognize just how dynamic this city is, recognize how, our campus is stitched right in the heart of this place. And so when you get on campus, there's just this feel of energy and excitement and enthusiasm. And I recognize the fact that hasn't been represented in the results of our football program as of late. But I also recognize this to be a moment for Vanderbilt athletics and Vanderbilt University, a moment where we have resources aligned with the Vandy United campaign, a moment where our leadership is so strong in Chancellor Diermeyer and Candace Lee. I'm fortunate to be the person that was tapped to take the helm of this operation at this moment. And that becomes, the enthusiasm, the vision, the energy we have around what we're building, Ron, that's something that you can't fake. But when people get here and get around us, it's tangible. And, it all starts, every single bit of it starts with the internal perception of this program. It's how our players perceive what they're doing here, how they view it as meaningful to their long-term prospects. And, we've spent like 8 months on this, but what's happened as we've grown our confidence from within, our external confidence has grown. And now, when a recruit comes on our campus and has a chance to interact with our team, he feels the direction. I don't need to oversell it because he can sense it in every interaction he has. And so, look, the task becomes easy once we put all these things together, because there's so many talented players in our backyard. And it's about convincing them to drive to Nashville, drive to Vanderbilt over a flight somewhere else, when everything they're looking for in their experience resides right here in Nashville. And so that's that's the formula. Obviously, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, this is the slow turn of progress, but we're getting there, and we'll continue to get there. We'll continue to strengthen as we go, and I think we'll strengthen as people start to visually see the impact of what we're building here in terms of culture and environment.
Well, and also building in terms of facilities, because that is such a topic of conversation. And I know there was a press release that went out today talking about the new facilities and the $300 million that will be put into what student athletes get to utilize. And now we finally have a timeline. I know the press release said that construction is going to start on all of that at the end of this football season. How key is that for you and this program moving forward?
Well, when you start talking about just the long-term sustainability of success, it's critical, and it's been the missing piece, here in that respect. We inhabit a building that's going on 30 years old, and that's just fine, because in the short term, it's not about the spaces, it's about the people, and that's always been the focus here. Is how do we have to start with rehabbing the personalities in this building, the heartbeats, making sure that we have just an incredible, again, internal feeling for what it means to be a part of this program, a belief, a winning attitude, winning behaviors, right? Those things are all, you can build the nicest facility in the world if you fill it with people that aren't ready for the responsibility of being a part of this program, who don't have the winning behaviors, the winning habits. You're not going to shift your results. But with the work we put in, and that we'll continue to put in on the people in this program, and the people that touch this program, that facility is something that can actually like push us over the top into a next level of sustaining the excellence, sustaining the winning, the results over time. And so I'm thrilled. And, until the shovels are in the ground, we just continue to be at work on the team that we have and the spaces we have. We're proud of our facilities. We're proud because they reflect Vanderbilt football, and we're going to put everything we can into our effort here to leave it better than we found it. And once we get into a new building, when that happens, we won't deviate from the fundamentals that got us to that point. And so that'll continue to be a focus, but we are all very excited about the direction of this. And certainly, the facility will be a big part of that.
Vanderbilt head football coach Clark Lea. Coach, you've mentioned, about it taking time to turn this into what you want it to be as a whole. How will you measure success for this group this year?
Well, we'll measure success, based on performance. I mean, we have a path to win every game that we play, and we're going to measure our results off the execution of that path, that plan. And, we can't defer winning to a time in the distant future. We don't need to do that. What we have to do is understand exactly who we are in our identity and understand what it's going to take to win. And early on, it's about maximizing our competitive self. It's about fighting for every blade of grass on the field. It's about avoiding any semblance of self-sabotage with pre-snap penalties or with, missed assignments on defense. Like, we have to play really good, sound, fundamental football. We got to play it really hard. and we got to be ready to fight longer and harder than our opponents. And one of the taglines that we've used this year with our team is to be the best mentally and physically conditioned team in the country, a team that can, surround its opponent in the fourth quarter and put pressure and put the opponent in a situation where the margin of error is so small for them, where we have confidence that we know the outcome because we have the energy and the attitude to go finish. And I'm excited for that. It's just, it needs to be a team that is competitive and tough, and that the city of Nashville, the Vanderbilt community, will be excited to get behind and cheer on. And, we're going to be, in short order, able to measure our progress off opponents, and that'll be exciting for us as well.
Coach Lee, I'm letting you out of the boom boom room. You answered a lot of those great questions, and I want to leave you with this though. You are you grew up here, like you know the fabric of Vanderbilt, and you know what the aura is like. Along with you, Coach Ralph, hired by the women's basketball team, Coach Stackhouse, Coach Corbin. No slight to any other the other coaches, but I'm talking about the main programs. Now it's a different aura. Now I'm talking outside of wins and losses and everything, but in the 90s, when I was growing up here, Vanderbilt, along with all the other universities here, you could always still walk around proudly, to be a Vanderbilt alum and everything, and still be affiliated with the sports program. I see it going back in that way. I think I was going to say Coach Lee, but Candace Lee has done a terrific job as far as, building an infrastructure. And you guys, man, y'all don't – now, the Vol fans might get a little angry at me for this because I don't do this a lot. But I'm telling y'all, man, Clark Lea, along with Stack and Corbin and Shay Ralph, y'all making it hard for me to cheer against y'all. I'm just saying, Definitely, I know what to cheer when y'all play UT, but I'm just saying, outside of that, I love the aura that's around the university right now, man.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I think the person that you mentioned, Candace Lee, what an unbelievable leader for us, and someone who, like me, she went to school here. This is personal to her. Mm-hmm. And Ron, I love what you said about just the pride in representing Van. This is such an unbelievable place and an unbelievable city. It just doesn't exist anywhere else. And a top 15 university competing in the Southeastern Conference, in the greatest city in the country, in my mind, it's just, why not? Why not make this so special and so exciting so that everyone affiliated with the city and the school has tremendous pride in representing Vanderbilt. So, listen, I appreciate you saying that, and we'll take you. All but one game we'll take you, and then maybe I convince you beyond that, man. Hey, by the way, Ron, it's NBA Pro Cone football this week.
I know it. So yeah, don't you worry about it. I'll be there with my red and black on, baby. Let's go.
Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We know, you're 11 days away from kick, so we know how busy it is. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Hey, this is a treat for me. I will always appreciate the chance to be on with you guys. Y'all take care, and hope to talk to you again soon.